from Successful Salons and the founder of Successful Salons Club. As a salon owner, creating a positive team culture is super important to the growth of your salon. You want to create an environment where people are not afraid of providing feedback, however are appreciative of receiving it as well. So in this video today, I would like to share 6 tips about giving and receiving feedback. So before we jump into the 6 tips, I just want to share something that I learned very early on in my career, and it served me well as a salon owner and with my children and in general. It's called the Emotional Piggy Bank. When it comes to improving and maintaining your working relationships with others, the Emotional Piggy Bank account is a very powerful tool for the development of interpersonal relationships. So if you've never heard of this, it basically means that anyone whom you come into contact with or have a relationship with, whether it be your co-workers, family and friends, we maintain a personal emotional bank account with them. This account begins with a neutral balance. And just as any bank account, we can make withdrawals. Instead of dealing with units of monetary value, we're dealing with emotional units. So the emotional units are centered on trust. So when we make emotional deposits into somebody's bank account, their fondness and their trust and confidence in us grows, and as a result our relationship develops and grows. If we can keep a positive reserve in our relationships by making regular deposits, then there will be greater tolerance for our mistakes and we will enjoy open communication with that person. On the contrary, when we make withdrawals and our balance becomes low or even overdrawn, then that's when bitterness, mistrust and discord develops. So if we're to salvage our relationships, we must make a conscious effort to make regular deposits. So that's the Emotional Piggy Bank. So now let's jump into the first tip of giving and receiving feedback. So the first tip is understanding the individual. Seek first to understand and then be understood. Truly understanding what others are feeling is not always easy. We need to remove ourselves from the egocentric viewpoint and put ourselves into the minds and shoes of others. So in other words, we need to let our ego out of this. We need to take it away from it. So we must first try to understand their thought patterns, and second, walk in their shoes or empathize with them. An issue may arise when communicating with your team members. As while they are talking, that you may tend to think, what am I going to say next? And I am guilty of this, and I'm even guilty of it with my husband. He'll be saying something and I'm ready to go back at him. So you need to pull yourself back and really listen to what your team members are saying, and then you'll be able to respond accordingly. Truly understanding someone requires you to wholly and completely concentrate on what the other person is saying, not responding and just waiting off to fire off your response. So the second one is keeping commitments. Certainly when we break our promises to others, we make major withdrawals from the emotional bank account. However, keeping commitments is just not relegated to our promises. It also includes such things as arriving to work on time, making sure your appointments are on time, fulfilling your duties, and living up to every word that comes out of your mouth. So super important that you are keeping your commitments. It's help building that emotional piggy bank with your team members. Tip 3 is clarifying expectation. There is nothing more frustrating in a working relationship than not understanding what is expected of you. Expecting someone just to know is not only unfair, but it's completely unrealistic. It is important that the other person you are dealing with knows exactly what is expected from them. Doing this will keep them out of the dark and allow them to relate to you confidently, knowing that what you are doing is in line with your expectations. So number 4, tip 4, attending to the little things. Little courtesies, kind words, warm smiles are at the heart of the little things that brighten up the day-to-day working relationships. It shows recognition and awareness of others. It is interesting. However, within our relationships, if you want success, it's the little things that really become the big things. Tip number 5, showing personal integrity. Nothing is probably more damaging to a relationship than a lack of integrity. Being that the emotional piggy bank is based upon trust. So essentially you could be doing all the things that we've just talked about, however without trust it's of no avail. Integrity means wholeness, completeness, and soundness. Integrity is the rock solid foundation upon all the successful relationships are built. So making sure that you are aligned with your personal integrity and that you are following through with it. Tip number 6 is apologizing sincerely when we make a withdrawal. We're all human, we all make mistakes. That's part of life. Learning and knowing when you are wrong and admitting to your mistakes prevents the wounds that can be caused in others from festering and allows them to heal. Where appropriate, sincerely apologize. This will help keep your relationship accounts in the positive and allowing you to maintain balanced relationships and a positive culture with your team members. So there we have it, the 6 tips to giving and receiving feedback. Super important in any growing business and super important in creating a successful salon. Your team members are your most valuable assets. You want to create an environment where they feel comfortable enough to receive feedback and also give feedback. In order to help you create that team positive culture, I've created a workbook for you. So just click on the link down below and we'll have that workbook straight to your inbox. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and I will see you next week for another episode. Hey guys, Tony here. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love for you to subscribe and I will see you next week for another video.